I am sure sports. You know me there, from coast to coast representing. I mean, I say this is Righteous representing for Omar. You don't know, come get your sports over here from near and far. Boy. Me say I am sure sports, one thing me sure about. When me say sure, that me not doubt. Come get your sports, get it over here. Come subscribe, repost and share. I am sure sports, one thing me sure about. When me say sure, that me not doubt. Come get your sports, get it over here. Come subscribe, repost and share. If me not sure, that me not say it. Know who score, that me not say it. Never know no game play, that me not say it. If me never see no game, me no know who play. For your sports news, better come over here so. For your soccer news, then come over here so. If you don't love sports, still come over here. For the day done, you a go love over your son.
So when it comes on to behavior concerning football, Jamaica is decent. I am sure that if we can get all of these things done, set in place by the end of April, it gives us enough time before the World Cup campaign. Not afraid of no Brazil, no Argentina with these crap of players. We are good enough. Remember to like, subscribe, share. Listen, comment, let me know what your thoughts are.
Jamaican herbs and spices add delicious, bold flavor to your next grilling experience. Flavoring sauce, a marinade, basting, condiment, or topping. Trick Nick Jerk Barbecue Sauce.
Jerk Marinade gives your meats and vegetables authentic Jamaican jerk flavor. The spices are directly from Jamaica. Spices like jerk seasoning, allspice, Scotch bonnet pepper, fresh scallions, thyme, ginger, and garlic. The key ingredients to a great jerk marinade. 0% sugar and low in sodium. You want to try it?
All right, greetings and welcome to I Am Sure Sports. I'm your host, my name is Van. We're here for another big one today. We're going to talk to you, talk to someone who is also going to be talking to you. We anticipate a very enjoyable, informative, and interactive program this evening. Again, I hope you have had a wonderful Sunday, and if you went to church or you went to a mosque, whatever you did, or you went to mass, hope you enjoy worshiping and praising and lifting up and giving thanks for life. If you did not and you stayed home, hope you have enjoyed your Sunday meal and you're ready now for this big show. If you're watching a football game, don't worry. You can still watch this video and your team will either win or lose. This video won't change the price of rice or the score line. All right. My NFL team not doing so well. So what can I say? I don't really have a lot of interest in it anymore. But hey, it is what it is. Before we even get into our interview, let me thank all the persons who are watching at this time. If you're tuned in, I know some of you may not make a comment or anything, but you're appreciated. Also, I want to say a big thank you to all our subscribers, all the persons who continue to subscribe to the channel, continue to like the videos, continue to just share the videos and make a comment. We appreciate that. I take time out to look and read the comments that come in, and many times I get additional information and persons that provides clarity to some of the things that I say, and I like that. I learn. I don't call their names because I don't know that they want their names to be called up. But thank you. You know who you are. You're always commenting even after the videos, and I certainly appreciate that. All right. Today's video is sponsored by Trick Nick. Trick Nick is a Jamaican owned and operated company in Canada, and they use authentic Jamaican herbs and spices to make all their products. And they are offering, look at this, they're offering 25% discount, 25% discount on all their products. Right now. Yes, they are. And all you have to do, very, very simple. All you have to do is use the code I am sure sports 001. One word. You use that code and you will get 25% discount. You shop at www.tricknick.ca. All right. So before I introduce my guest, what I want you to do, if you know anyone who um, is interested in playing college football in the United States, you may want to give them a word to come and listen to this particular video, because they may be able to get some direction as to what is and what are some of the best practices to help them in that process. Because the person that I'm going to speak today, Mr. Valney Brown, he has done some of this work, and he's able to provide direction and advice in that particular capacity. So you need to let them know that, listen, this video is going on, so come on and watch it and just listen to see if you can learn something to help in the process of you applying for college and playing football in the American collegiate scene. All right, so that's what you want to do right now. So take the time to go ahead and do that. So without any further ado, I'm going to invite our guest today, Mr. Valney Brown. Mr. Brown, how are you doing? Welcome to I Am Sure Sports.
Thanks a lot for having me. It's a pleasure. And I really appreciate being on your program.
Wonderful. All right, listen. So what I want you to do is kind of give us a little bio of you, so people can, for those who are saying that, well, who is this person? I mean, all the persons that I Am Sure Sports interview, I know them. I've never heard of this person before. Why don't you kind of introduce yourself to the people, so they can, those that say, oh, that is the person. Oh, all right, okay, right. So go ahead and take some time and tell them who you are and the kind of work that what you're presently doing, and then we'll get into our discussion.
Well, I'm a full-fledged St. Elizabeth offspring. My mom and dad is from St. Elizabeth, Jamaica, but I was born in Kingston, raised in Kingston, July 13, 1962. I attended Tarrant Junior High at the time, and then migrated to the United States 1988 permanently. And ever since I've been here, I've been doing what I love to do, that I started out doing in Jamaica in 1979, right after high school. I started out coaching Lions United FC youngsters in the 79 right out of high school. And I followed that trail until this minute. And it's been a success. I have done so much work within the Jamaican community and others to help youngsters find a path to school, which is most important, because not every player is going to be pro. So I always advise them, school is the easiest way to go. I am the only boy of 7 girls. So I'm alone in the sense of my my siblings with my mom. On the other side, I have 1 brother, 1 sister from my dad, and then I have adopted brothers and sisters. I am the father of 6 children, 2 adopted. 2 that adopted, 1 is just graduated for the Navy, and my adopted daughter, she is now home, heading back to Portugal, where she plays professional soccer. A student in school. I just have an 18-year-old that graduated high school, that's heading to college, straight A. And all the others have done very well with the academics. Schoolwork is priority. So that's where I stand in the sense of education and getting to know what's going on within the soccer world.
Okay. So you say you have a daughter who is now playing professionally in Portugal. Is it in the top tier? The Portuguese league?
She's in the top tier. She just won the championship. She's home for a couple of days, and then looking forward to go elsewhere. She have received offers from over in Texas, where Gada Thompson is currently coaching on the female side. They just offered her to come do goalkeeping, so she's thinking about that right now.
Oh, so she's a goalkeeper.
Yes, she's a goalkeeper, first class.
Okay.
So
okay. What age? What's her age?
She's 28 years old now.
Okay. Okay. So she's a Jamaican, meaning that she can represent Jamaica,
She
because
was
she's
there
adopted.
in Jamaica. She came down with Vin Blaine 2017, 2015, and played for Jamaica and was with the squad. But she's my adopted daughter. And I'm having
Okay.
a little issue with them with that. They want her to be in Jamaica living before she can get her paperwork, which we already did the adoption for her many, many moons ago. So they're holding us back,
Oh,
saying, oh, she has to be in Jamaica in order to get the status.
okay. Oh, or else she won't be able to represent the senior team. Whoa.
Exactly, that's where that is, yeah.
So what's her name?
Lizamanda Brown.
Lisa
Lizamanda
Amanda
Emily
Brown.
Brown.
All
Yeah,
right.
she's
So people
25.
you need to listen.
That. She's 25 years old. She's going
Oh,
to kill me.
Lisa Amanda Brown, 25-year-old, plays in the Portuguese top division. She came down with Vin Blaine on 2 occasions, but the paperwork needs to be processed so she can be a part of the national program. Okay,
Certainly.
that's good news. Okay. What's the name of the team in Portugal that she represents?
She was Ados Francos.
Ados Francos.
Ados Francos. Ah, I like that.
And she,
Ados
as a matter of
Francos.
fact, she played in Colombia too for our Somoza, and she was in Spain with Valencia.
Whoa.
Almasora.
Okay.
Almasora in Spain.
Armasora. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I hope the paperwork is processed. I hope she gets through, because this sounds like a very good prospect for the national team. But we have kind of gone off on a tangent, so we're gonna have to bring it back in, because now we're going into your daughter and all of that kind of stuff. So let's see if we can get the focus back on you. So you started out, you said, in terms of coaching at Mullines in 1979. This is when Mullines was in what league at that time? Is it minor
We
league,
were in the Sid
major league?
Bartlett League. We were in the
Okay.
Sid Bartlett League.
Okay.
Under 14s and the under 15s, whatever we had at that time while I was there.
Okay. And how good was the Mullines team back in 1979, or during the time of you coaching them?
Well, it was good enough. It was real good, because what happened then is the dedication of the young men to the sport, want to use it as an avenue to get out. So they dedicate themselves. We would get up 6 o'clock in the morning for training. And by 4 o'clock in the evening, the calendar session will be there. So we had a dedication to the sport in order to get out. It's an avenue we wanted to go through.
You coached there all the way up to 1988 when you migrated?
Right up until 1988 when I migrated.
And it was during that time that you also coached at Tarrant High School?
Well, no, I coached Tarrant when I migrated to the United States and came back when my mom passed in 2000. I came back and I just looked at Tarrant and I said, they need a Manning Cup program. I met with the principal, and I was the first person to coach Tarrant at a Manning Cup level. The only game they won that season, I was the head coach.
Yeah? No, you're not saying it right, They only won 1 game that season.
Yes, certainly.
So I don't know if you want to.
But it was a good start program.
I don't know if you want to speak a lot of that, because that sounded like you lost all the games with the exception of one.
Something to be honest with you, as a startup program, they did very well. They did very well.
Okay, who did they beat in the 1 game, if you remember?
Kingston High.
Okay, Kingston High. Okay. Because I haven't seen Tarrant in the Manning Cup for quite a while.
Albert Fitzgerald was there, and the COVID stepped in, and I don't know what they've done with the program this year. But our intentions, to be honest with you, is to come back and help Tarrant, especially youngsters who really want to get out. That's doing their work, their schoolwork.
Because Tarrant is closely connected to Mullines United as well. There's some sort of partnership.
It's 31 Mullines Road. All of this 31 Mullines Road. Tarrant and Jesse Park is the same address.
Okay, so that is the kind of work that you have done in Jamaica primarily. It is in the early stages, which is at Tarrant and at Mullines, kind of building programs there. And this is the same Mullines team that is presently in the Premier League. But you're not involved in the club now, but you were in it in the initial stages.
No.
Are you still engaged?
No.
Okay.
Let me fix you on that. Let me get you corrected on that. I am part owner of Mullines.
Oh.
When we got the chance to go to the major leagues, Yas and Bobby Mowat met with me and 2 other parties and handed over Mullines to me. And ever since that, I've been contributing to Mullines because that's where I grew up.
Okay. Okay.
And I still contribute and contribute a lot to the club.
Okay. So you're part owner at Mullines.
Yeah.
All right, which is good. I see Ultimate Butler saying big up Coach Brown, great humanitarian. This is Freddie Butler. And then I see Gunners Boss say respect Mr. Brown. All right. So but you have done a lot of work in the United States, you know, helping Jamaicans and a whole, not just Jamaican, but we're going to focus on some of the stuff that you have done that has gone unnoticed in terms of really helping a lot of Jamaican youngsters into college, and just with other things in terms of their education and their footballing development here in Jamaica. I know you're also the president of Inter Florida FC, which is a club over there in Florida. And so we're going to talk a little bit about that. But I want you to kind of, just share with us, some of the things that you have done in terms of on the collegiate scene with Jamaican athletes, football players, both on the male and the female side, and who are some of those persons, if you're at liberty to call their names, that you have really, aided in the process of entering or completing their studies in college while still being able to play football.
One of the biggest names is Richard Trench. Don't know if you know that young man from Mannings. He went to Mannings High School. I was instrumental with Aaron Lawrence in getting him and most of the students that come from that side to go to a university in South Carolina named Sakahachi. Reason being, most of these players, the grades are not up to the standard. So now you have to bring them into a junior college setting and then have them focus because they're away from home, have them focus. And then when they play, then they move on to a Division 1 school or a Division 2 school, which Richard Trench moved from that school into University at Tampa, I think. On the bigger scale, I was very much instrumental in getting Andre Blake in the University of Connecticut. Because I received a call from, at that time, the Ncaa rules, you can't make that contact, so you have to be that third person that does the contact. So I was the contact person. And while doing that, I contacted one of your legendary coach, Liebert Aliman. And I said, Liebert, how is this young man grades? Liebert said his grades is as good as he keeps. So I took a trip to Jamaica. I went and watched him play. And they made back a report to the University of Connecticut that this kid is exceptional. When they came down to watch him play after I came back, they called me and they told me all the F words and said, Coach Brown, anything you tell us, it's golden. Anything you tell us, it's for real. This is MLS material. And so Andre Blake laid it out. But before Andre, we had 3 players from Clarendon that came under my stewardship in the sense of helping them to get to the University of Connecticut. You had Sergio Campbell from Clarendon, Lionel Brown from Clarendon, and Ncaa Brown from Clarendon. 3 of those guys were drafted in the MLS. Ncaa was drafted in the MLS, Andre was drafted in the MLS, and Sergio was drafted in the MLS. Lionel played in the NASL at the time.
Okay. Wow. Okay, so this is Andre Blake for the people who are probably wondering which Andre Blake. This is Andre Blake, the present national goalkeeper, right? Who was a #1 draft pick.
I must also tell you, on the day of his draft, I was working the MLS combined. And so I had to take care of the big guys upstairs. And while I was upstairs, I heard them say, this guy is effing. And he's going to go #1. So I came downstairs and Andre get out the goal. As a matter of fact, I have Andre's goalkeeping glove polish that he used at the draft. He gave it to me. I still have it. If I was at home, I'd have shown it to you. A little bottle of Adidas glove cleaner. And I still have it up until this day.
Yes.
I have it as a souvenir because I collect stuff. And I have that as a souvenir. And I told Andre, you are the bomb. It's you. Andre was shivering And if he wishes to speak truth, he was shivering because he never knew. And while we were there, I saw this guy, tall guy.
This is at the MLS draft, right?
Yes, I was there because
Yeah.
I work with Kicks International, which hosts every international events here in Florida, owned by Ed Rogers. So every international team from Jamaica, Colombia, Honduras, Guatemala, Trinidad, Cayman Islands, when they come in, they have to come to me. They have to see me.
Okay. Whoa.
So by doing that,
once they are coming into Florida, a lot of that goes
once
through
you're
you.
coming into Florida, you have to go through my boss, Ed Rogers. Most recently, a little situation occurred with our national program, and they had to go through him. No matter what they do, once they come in Florida, he and the U.S. Soccer Federation has it down where any international team that comes to Florida has to come through him.
Okay.
And I work with him. So there's nothing you can do beyond
that's interesting. That's
There's
interesting.
nothing
So
you can do beyond Ed Rogers. It's gonna come right back to it.
Okay, so when the team recently had their camp, you'd have been part of the process because they had a camp there, heading into the Gold Cup.
Yes, if they had came down this side, because sometimes they head north.
All right, they weren't in Florida, they were in Orlando, I think.
Orlando, they went to Orlando. I was trying to help them to get here to do the camp, but then you know how the rigmaroles with the Jamaican stuff is, so they went up to Orlando. Well, we are down in Fort Lauderdale. We are based in Fort Lauderdale.
So which Jamaican team was the last team that you helped in terms of doing something in the Florida area, and your company had to help and you had to be a part of that?
And the girls under 20 camp.
That was a couple of years ago.
Jody Brown and
Lacey and Murray was on that team as well, I think.
All those girls, I have pictures with them. Our recent one that we did with before the COVID and all that was when Tapa and Montese, was it Montese? They came with a national camp. When Tapa is in town, I am Tapa's closest ally because he doesn't go around everybody, he doesn't drive around with everybody. So like Coach Brown, it's me and you. So like, all right, Tap, let's go. Wherever you want to go, let's go. So he and I have that kind of good rapport together.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So kind of get some of that because so let's just follow a pattern now. So you said that you have over time you have helped. You name some of the names. How difficult it is for a youngster in Jamaica to get into a Division 1 or a Division 2 college, and I mean, is there any kind of advice that you can give to them to say, listen, if you're planning on attending college in the United States, because listen, probably it's only 1 in every 20 footballer that will go pro or will be good enough to go pro at the highest level. So like you said earlier, it is important that some of these youngsters, the other 19, use football as a mean to properly educate themselves.
All right. Let me give you right off the bat, because I like to be straight. My compound maroon kind of thing. So I give it to you straight. You may not like what I say, but then you go call me and say, you're right, I love you. There's a young man at Jamaica College right now. His name is Romain Blake. He's currently with the Inter Miami program. I brought him from Jamaica, all expense paid, to here in Florida.
Romain Blake.
He's currently, they call him Roops. He's at JC right now playing for Jamaica College. He's currently in the Inter Miami program.
Inter Miami is a team owned by David Beckham.
Dave, as a matter of fact, and I'm talking to you right now, if you happen to talk to that young man, he'll tell you that Beckham tells him, you have real good stuff to go places.
So why is he in Jamaica?
That we have out of Jamaica. We have the talent, we have the kids. It's just to give them the avenue for them to excel.
So why is he in Jamaica if Beckham, he's in Inter Miami and Beckham thinks so highly of him? Why is he in Jamaica playing?
Right. He is in Jamaica being currently.
I didn't hear that. We're losing some of what you're saying. There's a lot of...
Yeah, we're back.
Yeah, you're saying that he's in Jamaica.
Yeah, we're working on the paper. You know how it is. He's there, but he cannot play unless he gets the paperwork for Inter Miami officially done. So we are working through lawyers to get that paperwork for him done so he can represent the academy, because he's a 2005 kid. I played him on the
Oh,
bench, and they spotted him.
oh, I see what you mean. So he's really in Jamaica in the interim, because once the paperwork is done, he's going to move back to Inter Miami to play in the academy over there.
Yeah,
Because
as a matter of fact, I must tell you,
he's 16 years old.
Right, he gets his work. He gets his work scheduled every single morning, what he has to do while he's in Jamaica.
Oh, so Inter Miami still sends his. Okay, that's awesome.
Yeah, he's currently at JC. His name is Romain Blake.
Right. So you say it. So what does that mean? Because the question is how difficult it is for a youngster in Jamaica to get, like I said, into the college system coming out of Jamaica. What are some of the things? Because
it is not difficult. It is not difficult if they pay attention to the phones that they use. All the information is in the phone. In order to do what is required in America, the SAT, the SAT exam, is the gold mine to collegiate.
Yes.
Now, if we can get the SAT program to be taught in schools in Jamaica, it would make it easier for the young men. I have Ronaldo Berger. He just came down from Kingston College. He just arrived in Jamaica 2 weeks ago. He doesn't have a science subject. One of the things that we need to educate our youngsters in Jamaica is that whenever you're doing your exams, make sure you have a science subject. Once you have a science subject, the colleges are there to say, oh my God, he has a science subject. We want this youngster in. So a science subject is very, very, very important.
So you need a science subject, and you'd recommend that the schools teach the SAT in the schools itself.
I was in Jamaica and checking it out, and it's pretty much costly.
Yeah, it's very
go up to the other schools to do the SATs.
Yeah, it's very difficult. Expensive. So you're saying that it needs to be more accessible in the schools so that as many kids as possible want to do it. It is readily available to them. And in addition to that, just like the CHC. That's a very good idea.
I Albert Carter while I was at Tarrant about it. And he says, Valney, it's a very, very good idea. Never thought of it. And then he started bringing in the school system, but then he left and went to Calabar High School. But that is something that I am putting out here to the Ministry of Education and the rest of the other people in Jamaica that teaches, get the SAT done. It is important. I had a young man, Conrad Cunningham. He got 1,200 SAT, and I was able to get him a full ride to St. Mary's College. He's currently here doing well.
Okay. People, that's not the St. Mary's College in Jamaica, the St. Mary's College in the United States.
St. Mary's College here in the United States.
All right. So let me ask you, I have a couple of questions from the persons in the comment section. So I'm going to get those. Again, persons, thank you for watching. In the meantime, remember, please like the video. This person says, please explain how the NCAA transfer portal works and their hardship rules for student athletes. And I want you to kind of explain that, if you can, as it relates to football or soccer, as they would call it there.
What I do know, and I don't talk what I don't know. What I do know is if we have a youngster and he has the ability to play the sport and he has the academics to go with it, then he is cream of the crop, or she is cream of the crop. Because the college coaches are going to go for that. No. That hardship thing, I don't know how the colleges work it out. But from time to time, our Jamaican kids come and they run into hardship, and they were not told about whatever needs to be done. What needs to be done is before the kids leave Jamaica to enter into the United States, into the college, they must get a comprehensive knowledge of the expectations and what's there for them that they will encounter. I just had a female had to come back to Jamaica because she had a difficulty with the soccer coach. She didn't attend classes, and thinking that she's down in Jamaica where she can go to school whenever she feels like. It does not work that way here. So she had to go home, and by the time she gets home, the college sent a bad report on her. She went to the embassy to renew the visa, and they took both visas from her. So what we
Whoa.
need to do is educate our youngsters
Whoa.
of the expectations that when these coaches sign you, you are obligated to.
Well,
And that's the bottom line.
that's interesting, because one of the things I learned recently, and I don't know if you can explain this, is that even when you get a scholarship, sometimes it's for 1 year, and it is up to the school too, because sometimes they will leave with the impression that it's a scholarship for your time in school. But what happens, I understand, and maybe you can speak to this if you're able to, is that it's normally 1 year, and it's almost like it is renewed, because that is dependent on if the coach is still there, how you perform, all of those things, because the coach could change and the new coach don't want you, and then you're left out there on your own. So those are the things you're saying that needs to be explained. But go ahead and tell me if that is so.
Yes,
And
most colleges go 1 year renewable. Why? You give a kid 4 years or 3 years, and this kid figure more or less, something. I'm just gonna pull my tails. It's a business. Whichever way you want to look at it, it's a business. And a coach is gonna give you $40,000 to go to school, and you don't do what you're supposed to, but you have a guarantee for 4 years. How does he explain that to the athletic director? So it's a 1 year renewable. Based on your performance. You hear, you do well, the coaches are gonna love you, and they're gonna do everything to keep you within the school, even if you get injured. For instance, for example, Sergio Campbell. When I recruited him to go to UConn, he was told by one of our senior coaches at Jamaica, don't go to UConn. So they sent him up to Arkansas, somewhere up in the wild west, and he got 2 concussions and a broken back.
Whoa, broken back?
Yes. I was in my bed 3 a.m. in the morning and the phone rang. My wife right here says, answer it. It's emergency. And when I answered it, I said, hello, who is this? It says, me, Sergio. I said, what's going on? I said, coach, they must keep me out of school. And I said, what's going on? Tell me. I said, I'm injured, and it's pretty much I'm not capable enough to
Your audio is gone. I'm not hearing you anymore. All right, hearing you now. Yeah, hearing you now.
He's saying that they're saying that he's not capable enough to stay within the school and play. So I said, Serge, the only way I can help you, I'm gonna have to pick up my phone and call the head coach for UConn. Lo and behold, I called him and he says, listen, we tried to recruit him and he was told not to attend UConn. I said, Ray, I can openly say Ray Reid. I said, Ray, when he came to America with the high school coaches, they are his guardian. You got to understand that. Now, he's on his own. So now I'm asking you kindly to assist him. He went on to captain UConn. He captain Andre Blake at UConn.
Oh, so he tried. Sergio Campbell?
Yes.
So what happened to him? Did he stop playing football, or the Jamaica team
no,
never called him?
Sergio's still playing. This let me get a little bit into it. This is what we do with our talent. Romario Williams, I'm his personal trainer. Romario gets 3 minutes in Jamaica's last game.
3 minutes, Romario?
3 minutes.
No, man, he started in the Jamaica versus Mexico game.
You heard what I just said, his last game. Listen to my statement thoroughly. His last game that he played for Jamaica, he only got 3 minutes.
Romario Williams?
Check the records, because I'm factual on that.
Who did we play against?
I am his personal trainer. I prepared him when he went and won the MLS in Atlanta. So I know
hold on.
to you.
No, man. What I'm asking, did he play for Jamaica versus Mexico?
Yes, but the game that they played a game when the English left, all the English guys left, something like that.
The Costa Rica game. So he played most of the game against Mexico. Because of the travel things, they went to Costa Rica. In the Costa Rica game, he came on at the back end of the game, I think.
He got 3 minutes. Factual.
3 minutes at the end of the game. Yes.
Good. Now he left and he went to Kuwait and he scored a goal in 115 minutes. and becomes the king of Kuwait.
Yes.
What I'm saying this to say this. Sergio is one of our brilliant young men. And we're looking and see we go for 45-year-old to play for Jamaica.
No, there's no 45-year-old.
Oh, my bad, 30 some years old?
Yeah, we have a 38-year-old and a 34-year-old.
In my world, that's a 50-year-old player.
Well, in my world, the age is the age. So I have to be credible on my channel. That I can't say.
No, I understand. Yeah. I understand. He's 30 some years old, but I'm saying, what do we do with a Sergio Campbell? What do we do with a Romario Williams?
These what about the person? All right, let me say it this way. What about the person who will say to you, well, he played in the game against Mexico and he did not play well? And it is based on that. Because he did come on in the yes.
If you haven't represented Jamaica in 3 years, you fought for Jamaica at the Gold Cup. You put your heart on the line for Jamaica in the Gold Cup. But you cannot get a national call-up. You get a call-up and they say come in, and the next morning when you wake up, they tell you not to delete that out. You're not asked to join the squad anymore. I'm giving you facts. I'm not asking.
No, all right, no, man. No, I remember that he was a part of the 2019 Gold Cup, which is what you're talking about. And he did well.
The 2 goals that he scored in the Gold Cup, we worked on it for 3-4 months, how to beat the keeper near post.
Yeah, man. So, all right. So he did score. In that Gold Cup, he did well. All right?
Mm-hmm.
So he did well in the Gold Cup. Nobody's arguing that. And most people would agree that from that time up to the Mexico game, he was never called back.
But here's the thing.
Go ahead.
How can we have players that get super contracts elsewhere around the world, but cannot be a permanent fixture in our national program?
No, man. All right. So this is where now we are agreeing. We are agreeing that in 2019 he had an excellent Gold Cup. He never got called back for. He won the
MLS. He won the MLS.
Yeah, man. All right. So remember, so just follow the process because you have to let me make the point because what you are saying is not a point of disagreement with me or with anyone.
No,
Just follow me out.
Good.
In 2019, he did well. Then he won the MLS with Atlanta United. Did very well. Never got called back. He never got called back for Jamaica until the Mexico game. And,
right.
and that is what people had a problem with. People had a problem with us not using this man for whatever reason, rightfully or wrongfully so. You call him up for a Mexico game when he have not been working and he never looked because he never trained with the team. They just went in and went straight into the game. No fault of Sergio, of Romario. Then he never played in the Costa Rica game and he's not been called back again. All right. So most people are not looking at 2019 coming up. All they are looking at is he never looked good in Mexico. People have a way of forgetting the past and we have to understand that. The truth is when you look at Sergio's performance against Mexico, it wasn't good enough. But it is not his fault because he should not have been called and then turn up and then go and start. It should not have happened. I don't blame him for it.
You may not know this.
Yes.
You may not know this. He flew from Egypt to the United States only to receive a call to fly back to Japan. He says, if I fly back to Japan, I'm going to have no use to the squad. So I respectfully decline to go back to Japan. They called him when everybody got COVID. They wanted him to go back to Japan. And he said, I flew to Egypt, from Egypt to the United States. If I get there, I'm have no use to the team.
Oh, so they actually, you see, this is good because no, they wanted him to go on the job. Well, they call him as late for the Japan stuff.
Exactly. This is what I'm saying to you. This is what I'm saying. Our natural talent, like a Romario Williams, a Damian Lowe, a Junior Flemings, a Mattox, all these young men that have worked their way. They go to college and they did what they're supposed to do. They got their education and they work their tails off. Because I trained them. And I can tell you personally, they work their tails off. But for some reason, what is the reason? I don't know. But if I am the president for the Jamaica Football Federation, I am the head coach for the Jamaica national team, what is first and foremost is like we had Anandilo Sr., Walter Boyd, Pepe Goodison, Durant Brown, Shorty Malcolm. Those are our pioneers. And what we need to do is the youngsters that come here and get their education, play the sport, we should have no if, ands, or but for them to be the first priority in our national setup. Why go to school? Why play the sport? And then when the call, you get people coming from where they don't want to represent Jamaica. They're just there.
All right, no,
What
no.
do you tell them? What
Listen,
do you tell them?
no. Listen, sir, you can't. We're not going to agree. Like, I don't want the program to go down this path. Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why I don't want it to go down there, because we have to be factual. All right, and this is not going down the path of factual. So going to college should never guarantee a man a spot in a national team.
No.
What you're saying is that, but that's what you just said.
What I'm saying is,
what you're saying.
If you go to school, you do your schoolwork, you are contracted to play the sport. That is what the word that I've been missing. Contract. You have been contracted to play in clubs elsewhere. It simply means you did what you're supposed to do to represent your country. You're working as a contracted professional player. So I personally, and this is for me, not for you or anyone else, I think that these players should be priority, looked at first, rejected, and then we bring in others.
So what I'm saying is, though, the reason for selecting anybody in any sport, in anywhere in the world, cannot be because you have a college education or you're contracted. It must be based on your talent. And so because my son is in England and I am Jamaican, my son is not supposed to get a priority because you are going to college. So my son is my son name is Ryan Sterling. Don't give Ryan Sterling the first preference because somebody went to college. That not making sense.
Here's what I'm saying to you. If this player does everything that this player is supposed to do, this player, okay, I have a contract playing overseas because of my performance. I'm performing well, like Peter Lee Vassell, Dane Kelly. These are youngsters that come out of Jamaica. I'm not talking about anything else. I'm talking about the youngsters that come out of Jamaica that have been working their tails. They're not just saying, give me a spot on Jamaica's team. They have proven that the work that they've been doing is credible work.
All right, so let me ask you a question. Let me ask you this question. So my son is playing for Aston Villa in the Premier League in England. He's scoring goals every game. Your son is playing in the USL. All right? He left Jamaica, he's playing in the USL, and he's scoring goals every game. You're saying that because your son left Jamaica and is playing in the USL, he should be given a priority over my son that is playing in England at Aston Villa?
All right, let me give you this. 2014, when the Reggae Girls started up, I sent kids from Jamaica, from here to Jamaica to help Jamaica. That's why I love my country. So it's not a matter of where you're from or anything of that sort. What I'm saying is, if your son is in Aston Villa and he's Jamaican and he can come in and his heart, he wants to put everything on the floor for Jamaica. I have that passion where I said, okay, you want to represent Jamaica? It's the land of your father, your mother's birth, or your grandparents. You want to represent Jamaica? I am all for it. For instance, Liz, my daughter, I want her to represent Jamaica. But if there's a young lady in the United States that's born and bred in Jamaica and is doing well, why give her the priority over Liz?
But isn't that what all right, so here's what we're saying. No one, you cannot, no human being has the intellectual capacity to measure a person's commitment without seeing consistent action. In other words, how are you going to tell someone that the person who is coming from England, coming from Russia, who has Jamaican parentage, is less committed than a person born in Jamaica? How are you going to prove that?
All right, we're not going to touch that area. Let's look at 1998 then. Simple.
Okay, so let's use something else, because this conversation.
We had three players that came to Jamaica, and Carl Brown and I are really, really close.
Yeah.
And I spoke to Carl and I said, Carl, what is the difference with those players and now? He says those players were players that came in and they built that brotherhood and they built that thing together, that bond, that they don't see beyond each other where you're from. Is this the same with what we have? We have a Learjet flying you out after the game and that kind of stuff.
So you're saying that? No. I have to stop you. So I'm a billionaire, and I want to play for Jamaica. So when the game is finished, they go in the bus. I ask for permission to drive my Bugatti home. What does that have to do with my commitment? That have nothing to do with my commitment.
No, what I'm saying to you, I know you got your Bugatti. I know what your luxuries are. But the bond on that bus with the
what I'm saying though is that the player was bonding. All the players in the team, the player you are referring to, all the players respect him and they say they have good relationship and they are bonding. So because
that is absolutely no question about that. But what I'm saying to you is, if I get the priority to do X, don't you think the others are going to think that I should get that same priority too?
They can't afford it. Listen, so remember, the private jet is not for the player. The player club personally sent for him. If your club want to do that, that is fine. I'm just saying that is not the best example. So let's because I don't know. I don't want to continue down this path because I don't like where it's going, and I really, yeah.
No, like I said to you before, man. Yeah. I am the person that's going to tell you like it is, because I have a radio program, and you hear the same.
Yeah, but this is not what I'm saying though with Romario Campbell, because Romario Williams, right? Let's get back to that because that's not where it's going, right? So Romario Williams, why I'm saying that I agree with you that between 2019 and 2021, how he was treated is not right. You cannot have a player in your Gold Cup squad in 2019. Played in a few games and he did well. He was one of the better players in the Gold Cup. All right. He continues on and he wins the MLS. And he doesn't get called again from what we have seen. Now you're just sharing with us that on one occasion, he flies from Egypt to the United States. Then he was asked to jump on a plane to go to Japan. We were unaware of that. And so that's good information. You don't call him to play in a game in Mexico. And he comes in, he doesn't train, and he goes right into the starting 11. I am not going to blame him for his performance because he wasn't playing with the team. He wasn't part of the Gold Cup. They just called him up because players could not travel. That was poor administration. And the administration needs to take a toll. However, if for whatever reason they choose not to select him again, right? I wouldn't even blame him. I would say that is not good. That's not the right way. But I don't think he should be discarded. Because at the same time, if he had played well in the Mexico game, with all the adversity he would have been through, he would have played in the Costa Rica game and started. And I still believe he's a good player.
I share that with you because if you're not good enough I will not contract to play for my Premier League club, and that's where the bottom line with that is. It is like that. But like I'm saying to you prior to, let's go back to the school and the kids.
Yeah.
I just wanted to touch that point. For the kids who wants to go to school and stuff, make sure you get that SAT. Make sure you graduate high school. You have that graduation certificate, and make sure you have your CXCs. What's also good is if you have a CV that tells full details of you, along with some videos, where you can pass it on to the college coaches easily. Because, for instance, every year I work with UConn, I do camp with them, and it's over 75 coaches, because 3 camps, 25 coaches, college coaches. So if I have a CV for a young man and I look at it, I can say, okay, take a look at this coach. For example, like I said, Ronaldo Berger, New Haven University, just
He's at
requested him.
KC now, right?
Yeah, he's at KC right now, yeah.
Okay.
He just came down 2 weeks ago. So
How,
he's about
a lot of persons, let me ask you this, sorry to interrupt, but a lot of persons say that, like, a lot of these, they don't want to see clippings of the high school football. Is that true, or clippings of the high school football is good enough for the colleges?
Yes, clippings is good, but also if they happen to play in any of the like
Premier League teams.
as long
Okay.
as that they're not contracted for the NCAA
Oh, so they
rules.
can. Oh, all right. So how does that work? Can I play in the Jamaica Premier League?
Yeah, you can play them, but you cannot have anything that says they are contracted. Anything that says because they're pro players, and pro players can't go to college. Only Butler did it.
Huh?
Only Freddie Butler got through with that.
Oh, you talking? You can't do that when you get Freddie Butler in problems, you know.
No, man, he talk that loud, man. He's fake, man.
Well, I don't know. I'm not going to call in anybody name about them things here on the program, you know, because I don't want to. You understand me? I don't. But
no, man, he said that loud, man. Last week interview, he said that he mustn't have looked.
Last week? No, there was no last week interview with Freddie Butler.
No, not with you. On a different program.
Oh, yeah, he said it. All right. All right, so you're saying that they can play in the Premier League in Jamaica, but they just can't have any contract.
Yeah, no money passing. They can't take not even a jersey.
They can't take a jersey?
Can't take a shoes. You have to be independent to go to college.
Okay, you have to be independent. Okay, all right. And then, okay, all right, so that's good. So on the male side and on the female side, that is kind of the same situation, right? In terms of the requirements and expectations.
But and the bad part on the female side is that they don't have a lot of female ball playing, so they short on videos. I was just contacted for girls to go to school, but they don't have any videos. They just don't have it.
Right, because there's no schoolgirl football being played, and there's no schoolgirl league being played. Okay, that makes sense.
They are at a disadvantage.
Okay, I see. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. Because they don't have any
captain. Our national female captain
was Connie Plummer.
Yeah, she was brought here through me. Straight me, because I still have our legal documents as our guardian here.
Okay.
Yeah, so I brought her here. I did the Reggae Girls 2017 when they came here. I got the sponsorship to Magic Jack to bring the team here for 3 weeks. There's a guy on RFM, I don't want to call his name. He was the
man, Evan. Well, I know that it took Nicholas Evans and those guys at RFM are always in.
Yeah, man, he was the brain behind all that.
Okay, I see one person you're saying that you may be referring to the NCAA rules about the players playing in the league as professionals and getting paid. How that may affect them?
Yes, that's exactly what I just said. They can't have no monies. They can't have not even the jersey that they wear. They can't own it. That's something that's given back to the club.
They were asking me about 2 players if he had anything to do with Andre Lewis and Vincent Campbell.
No, Andre Lewis was at the MLS draft when I was there with Damian Lowe and the rest of them, yeah. But I had nothing to do with their schoolwork now. With them getting into colleges now.
What do you think? Because here in the States, the Inter Florida FC that you own, because I heard you just had Alan Atti playing for you. He's at Mount Pleasant now, I think. What league are they in? What league do you play in? Or it's just an academy?
No, we have the NSL, which is a National Soccer League. And we have the Florida Gold Coast League.
Okay.
It's a men's league.
Are those professional leagues? Are those professional?
Professional, amateur. It's an amateur league.
Okay.
We don't get paid now. Nobody gets paid. What we use that is for exposure for Inter Miami to come and see the players.
Oh, so that Inter Florida team is connected to Inter Miami.
Let me go straight.
Or like a feeder.
It's a feeder program. The good thing about it is that the guy that's running the chief scout at Inter, he and I worked at UConn for years. So I have a close little tie there. So when I call him up and say, come and take a look, I just brought in a couple of guys. He would take his chair and come and sit and watch. And he would tell you, yes. We just had Nicolas Nelson got an opportunity to go to Inter Miami. He did well, but he left back for Jamaica for some reason. I don't know what's the reason, but
that's Nicolas Nelson who plays at Mullines.
Yes, he was here for 3-4 months and they liked him. He went in, scored on this.
And he went to Inter Miami and come back to Jamaica?
Yes.
I don't understand. I don't understand some of these Jamaica. Why so many of these guys go over there right here that they come back? Is it that they can't manage the pressure, they can't manage the discipline?
No.
Because they suspect they're earning. Yeah.
All right. Why you think Raheem Sterling and
Leon
Bailey was successful? They were out early.
Okay.
Whenever they stay and it's like lineman, party, carnival, whatever it is. When they get to a certain age, that's in their system. And automatically they're gonna miss it. So the younger we get them out of Jamaica into a good program, then it's gonna be beneficial to our country because they're now learning the ways how to communicate, the responsibility they're getting up, eating and drinking and sleeping right, all these things. Know that they have to get their medical check. Know that they have to do this. When I took Romain Blake for his medical check, he said, Coach, I never get none of this before. He was stringed up with all kinds of stuff, taking for EKG and all that. Check his teeth, check his toes. It's a complete different thing. And he's like, Coach, I never had that before. I said, that's how it's done. It's different here. And we understand why.
Okay. Maybe they need persons like you to come into Jamaica at different intervals to kind of have this conversation with the schools and with the Premier League clubs so the young players can understand some of the things, because some of them probably are not going to go over early. But we have realized that there's an influx of Jamaicans in like the USL, and many people are thinking that the quality of the USL is not far above, probably on par to our local Premier League right now. What are your thoughts on that?
I own Mullines. It's not true. It's not true. Because the programs that they have in the USL, we don't have 1% of it in our MLS program at Mullines. Not even 1%. I was there 4 or 5 months ago. We don't have 1% of it. If you go into a USL area and you see the operation, it's basically professional atmosphere. At Mullines, it's not the same. And I say it loud because I'm a part of that. And I've been telling them we have to change how we do things. I brought people from Sweden to come and talk to coaches, talk to Cassava, and how to do things differently. I've done it before. So what you're saying is absolutely true. I've done that. I brought a guy named John Wall to Jamaica. We met with Speed, Cornwall, Crookshank, and the whole of Cassava, and outlined to them what we need to do to get our program. In 2000, when I came to Jamaica, when my mom passed, I met with Cassava, and there was a young lady there at the time, and I said, I know we don't have the money to do U8 through U18, but we need to keep our programs so the kids can see something that they can aspire for. She turned to me and she said, you're too Americanized.
So she's saying that kind of mindset,
Right.
Yeah.
So all that has to change. All that has to change for the benefit and the betterment of the youngsters.
Yeah. So very good thought. So let me ask you, because when I ask, I will admit that when it comes on to how professionally structured the clubs are, the USL would be way better. The pitches, the accommodations, the, the,
Infrastructure.
the, the infrastructure. But what I'm talking about is in terms of, and we're not going to use Moline, because Moline is one of the lower tier teams in terms of the competitiveness of that club right now. They may improve, right? But let's talk about like the top clubs in the Premier League. I'm talking about the quality of play. How far apart is the quality of play in the USL in comparison to the local league? We're not talking about the
All right,
professionalism. We're not
let's
talking
look at
about
it.
the
You said
finances
it.
in it. Yeah.
Yeah, you said it earlier, right? You said, why is it that the players come to the United States and then they go back?
Right.
Because there's something that they have to maintain consistently, which is called discipline.
Okay. Okay.
That's one of the main thing. Any players. I was listening to Omar Ratti Daily
Yeah.
interview 2 nights ago, and he's saying that, listen, it's when I come to the United States I realize the big difference of professionalism that it's gonna take me anywhere else. When he went to Europe, he said he had to talk to Bibi, tell me what I need to do, and Bibi said to him, listen, you have to train when the coaches are not looking.
So you're saying
These
that
are
part of what
what
needs
they
to
need to
change
know.
in our football is the players need to be more disciplined in terms of their approach to the game, their mannerism, their behavior, their attitude towards the game.
All right, I read an article because I like getting up 5 o'clock in the morning and read. And I read an article last week where our coach is doing well. And the first thing he puts in the paper, big team. You can't tell no youngsters that they're a big team. They haven't planted the grass yet. It's work in progress.
Okay,
You
that's a
you
good
start
point.
telling
So
these you start telling these youngsters that they're big thing. When they get to the next level, oh, me a big thing, so me not have to do what me have to do.
so when you have a 16-year-old who looks like he's going to be a star, you're saying that it is not wise to say big baller, you're big kind of a thing at that age. It's too young to start hyping them up.
Exactly. Keep them on a level. Put a level on the top. I remember coaching a kid named Conroy Cunningham while he was at Mullines. Went to Calabar, and I put a level on top of his head. He said, Coach, why you put the level on top of my head? He said, to keep a level head.
Yeah.
Stay
Oh.
focused. Know what you want. And the rest will be history.
Wow.
When you start telling these, I have Kevin Wilson with me, who's Pella Wilson's son. He's one of the best things I've seen for quite some time. He was at Mount Pleasant.
Really? He was at Mount Pleasant, right? So he's with you now?
Yeah. This kid has an abundance of talent. Unbelievable. But when he came, he was thinking that he's a superstar. I had to kind of break him in and show him, listen, you haven't even touched the surface yet. Now he sits down and he reasons with me, Mr. Coach, you know, you tell me the right things then. I said, at first when I tell you were mad, but now you realize what I'm saying to you. Every time he plays, everybody wants him now.
When you say everybody, you're talking like MLS clubs or colleges.
Colleges, coaches, everybody, when they see him, they after him. They want him. He is a presence on the field. In my NSL team of grown men, he is a starting player. And to be honest with you, he's one of the better players.
Okay. Whoa, that's interesting, because I know he was at Mount Pleasant. Very good player. I'm very surprised that he left Mount Pleasant, but it is what it is. I was very surprised. So let me ask, because
they need that exposure.
Yeah. So because one of the other things I want to ask is, something that you have alluded to is simple, because when I look at the USL, I don't think the Jamaican players in the USL have improved significantly. And so my question is, why do the players who are in, if they are so good, You call some names. If they're so good, why have they been in the USL for 5 and 6 years and so on? Why haven't they moved on to other clubs all over?
Sometimes, Mr. Stennett, you don't know what's in their contract. You don't know what they signed up on. So we can be speculative on all kinds of things. We have to their contract, read through their contract, know what's in their contract, what they signed.
But so yeah, I agree with you that I'm talking the USL. If I'm signing a USL contract, I'm going 2 years and then looking at my options. Because I'll give you an example.
Okay.
You mentioned this name, Dane Kelly, for example. Dane Kelly has scored so many goals in the USL. I mean, why hasn't he moved on to someplace in Europe?
Like I said to you, when Andre Blake finished the draft, I saw a guy came to me and said, Coach Brown, thank you for everything that you've done for Andre. That was his agent. Now, Andre, I've moved on from that agent to something else. Sometimes the agent is a whole bunch of stuff that goes with it, Mr. Stennett. There's a lot of things that goes with it. Some of these players get complacent. They find a girl and they just say, listen, this is where it's at, I'm done. I'm comfortable.
Oh.
Yesterday I trained Malik Foster. And he's at Sacramento Riders or whatever their name. And he's
I'm happy that he's playing some football, because I know there was an incident back in Jamaica some time ago when he was I think he was shot. So I'm happy to know that he's playing football again.
This beautiful lady here.
Yes.
She's his therapist.
Yeah?
She's the one that takes care of Malik. Yeah, she's the one that takes care of Malik. And he said to me, Coach, I want to go back to Turkey. He says, Coach, I want to go back to Turkey. So he start working now. Everybody's like, why is he working now? I said, Malik, you're not going to Jamaica? He says, no. I want to work because I want to go to Turkey. Sometimes they get complacent.
Okay.
They comfortable. Remember this one. Let's backtrack, Sometimes we know 1 bedroom at Jamaica. We don't know no better. But we come as a 2 and 3 bedroom. I want bicycle. And we used to walk. So we get comfortable now because we have bicycle. Not say bicycle, if you want Lamborghini to a Bugatti. So these are the things that happen to them at times. You saw what happened with Anglin recently. It's not something that's hidden.
Yeah.
Those are the things that goes on behind the scene that you and I here. We just have to be thinking what's next, what's how, waiting for the call for one and to say, Coach, come bail me, Coach, come do this to me, Coach, come do that for me. Because there's at times they get themselves into some situation that they ought not to be
in. Yeah. Malik Foster was in Jamaica that he got shot in Portmore, right?
Right. And he came up, so we took care of him. My wife
just wanted to make sure. That's because I want to make sure I give accurate information. Travis Pesso, when it comes down to tracking players and knows what is happening, he's one of those persons here. He says that Dane Kelly actually went to Israel and he came back to the USL. This is what I'm saying, is that like why some of these players don't move on. Fine, the USL is there as an opportunity. Like Peter Lee Vassell, so many of the young guys, they are in there. I don't want them to stay in that league for 5 years because I don't see it as because there's a growing sentiment in Jamaica, for example, that the players in the USL are not good enough to represent the national team, especially the ones who have been there over a long period of time. Some people believe that. Not all, but there are people out there who share that sentiment.
Mr. Stennett.
Yes.
Mr. Stennett, if we have players, recently I saw they never had no training in Jamaica. And I see they have players from Premier League representing Jamaica. I had one from Montego Bay that was with me. And I got a college coach to come and look at him. And the college coach said, nah, he's not ready. But I saw him in the national team representing Jamaica. He's a twin brother of them. And I saw him in the national program. So if we can grab these guys and put them in the national program for whatever the circumstances, we can bring these guys home, put them in the national program, and say we can rekindle them.
Yeah. Okay.
Because sometimes that's what it takes. Yeah. Mama to call you in the car and say, so you're not being yourself, boy. And you just get back on track, right?
Yeah. I see. I'm Ricardo Baggio
You
asking
get what
which
I'm saying
state.
to you?
Yeah, you're right. You're right about that. I like that thought. But listen, all right. So let me tell you. So when I played football, I always believe that wherever I'm at, I have to go to a higher level until there's no more levels to go to. I have a problem when I see players reach like a low level and that's the ceiling. And like what you were saying, you put a level on top of that player head, Cunningham, and you said to him, you want him to have a level head. I think what happens, some people level off. The USL should not be a leveling off league. I think when the players need to be counseled that when you get to players like the USL, if after 2 years you're not in the MLS, then look elsewhere because staying in there is not going to radically transform your game to make you a top talent in CONCACAF at least.
All right, you have a very good man that does some tremendous work as an agent, Damani Ralph. I've watched him work.
Yes.
And if these players put their hands and hearts into it, I know.
I see some people here. Hold on a second, Mr. Brown.
I know for a fact.
Hold on, Mr. Brown. Before you continue, Damali Ralph, right? You know Desi Nicholson.
I'm a daddy that, I'm a son, I'm a father that, I'm everything that. Me and him close.
All right. So I know that Desi Nicholson too. So that's why I was laughing earlier. Just want you to know. But go ahead with your Damani Ralph story.
Oh man, Desi. I'm saying Damani is one of the ones that I admire, because I always see him in every nookie and cranny. You have some other agents around. They don't really look the Jamaican way. I don't know for the reason, but I know that man is always looking out for his Jamaican players. So if these players really want to seriously do what they have to do, then the opportunity is here. You're in Jamaica, you go, oh, I want this opportunity. I want this opportunity. You get the opportunity. Make use of the opportunity.
Yeah. I see somebody, Fresh God says, Lamar Walker, Peter Lee Vassell, Nicky Daly, Deshane Beckford, Andre Lewis, and the others need to seek moves away from the USL now. Yeah.
Right, and this is what I'm saying to you. Okay, let's go back quickly to our under-17 World Cup player who got the golden boots.
Under-17 World Cup player that got the golden boots?
Nicolas Nelson, Lines.
Oh, Nicolas Nelson got the golden boot at the under-17 World Cup?
Under-17 or under-20, Nicolas got under-20, one of two. I don't want to.
Oh, no. Don't worry, man. Don't worry. Pesa is going to tell.
No, Pulisic.
Pesa is going to tell us. Go ahead. Yeah.
Pulisic.
Christian Pulisic, yes.
Pulisic is at Chelsea, right?
Right.
Yeah, where's Nicolas Nelson? More lines. I got Nicolas Nelson into Miami. He scored on the senior team and catch him play the next month and come to Jamaica.
Whoa.
There's something called potential.
Have you ever talked to him yet?
And take it to the bank.
Oh, Travis is saying that he got
next week, you can play some ball for me because he's a good goal scorer. There's something called potential.
You're breaking up,
there's
Mr. Brown. You're breaking
potential, and there's another thing called ambition.
Yes.
I say you have something called potential, and you have another thing called ambition.
Yeah, man. We listen. Go ahead.
You heard me?
Yeah. Potential and ambition. Go ahead. Yes, we're hearing you.
Some people have potential, but they do not have the ambition. So that is it in a nutshell. You have a whole bunch of potential, but you do not have the ambition to go further.
Okay. I'm surprised that because this person is saying he won the golden boots in the playoffs. It was
I just call it like it is.
Yeah. So he got the golden boots in the Ncaa Cup under 17 qualification. He goes to Inter Miami, score on the senior team, and then the next day he takes a plane and come back to Jamaica. What kind of madness is that?
And this is not if answer about, you know. And it is not an if answer about, you know, because it's me getting to come here through some people that I know to get him ticket and bring him in and have him here and ask Inter Miami, take a look at him. When they see him, when we play the game, they say if he score one more goal, they're going to invite him in. As they said it, he came to the game without his shoe, Warrior shoe, scored a goal. They say he's in. I was in Jamaica. Inter called me and said, hey, Nicolas is ready to come back to practice the following week. Nicolas took the plane and came back to Jamaica. My wife, she's right here. Not the second time. We got to the place and he left town.
You're breaking up though. You're breaking up.
You heard that?
No, we didn't hear that.
You heard what you said?
No, I didn't. We didn't hear that. His phone is breaking up badly.
You heard what my wife said?
No, we didn't hear.
Tell him what you said.
You want to try on mine?
Yeah, try. No, she said professional settings, they cannot deal with it.
Okay. That seems to be it. Like they can't handle the requirement of a professional setting.
Yeah, that's it in a nutshell. The player that fights and wants it is the player that's going to be successful. There's nothing you can do about that.
All right. Mr. Brown, we're hearing you, but we're not seeing anything at all on the screen.
You get it, Mary?
Yeah, we're hearing you now, but we're not seeing anything on the screen.
Yeah.
We're seeing you now.
You just came back. I am seeing you.
Yeah, well, we can't. Yeah, we're seeing you now. There you go. All right, so if you can stay there. Yeah, okay, so that, all right. Whoa,
yeah.
I find that, go ahead.
All right, for instance, a Ncaa. Let's say Ncaa.
Yes.
Ncaa wants it. Ncaa dig, and she dig, and she dug, and she dig, and she dug. She came Jamaica's national team at the World Cup. It was not easy path. But she knew what she wanted.
Yeah. I'm wondering how many other players did that. They went away, had opportunities.
So that is what it is.
Yeah. I wonder how many other players did stuff like that. They went away, got an opportunity and couldn't deal with the professional requirements of a professional environment and just came back to Jamaica. And I like what Richard Stewart is saying. Richard Stewart say a player out.
To be honest with you, we can't have them in Jamaica after 15.
You know what? You and I agree. I don't like at 15 years old. Some of these guys need to go into some other academies in other places because I don't think they're learning the professional lifestyle. And you can't. It's hard to learn that at 19 and 20.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
But the question is, are there academies who take these guys at 15-year-old? Are there academies coming to Jamaica to look for 15-year-old and 14-year-olds?
But you see, we don't have, all right, we don't have to take them out of Jamaica. All right, so for instance, look at the academy that is down at Mount Pleasant. If we, as Jamaicans, decide to said, hey, we are going the right way. You get a Usain Bolt. You get a Shelly-Ann Fraser. You get a Ellen Thompson. You get a Sharika Jackson. And the list goes on and on and on and on. So if we decide that, then it's going to make a difference, a major difference. But if we ignore youngsters, Jimmy Cliff told us, treat the youth right. So if we decide to treat us right, then our society is going to benefit. The world is going to benefit because Jamaicans are some of the greatest people on the face of the earth.
So what I want you to what do you mean now? What do you what constitutes treating the youths right in your opinion? All right, I think we have having some difficulties with the feed. People, in the meantime, please make sure you hit the like button. Mr. Brown, he's still there. He has not gone. So we want to work on the feed in the background and then bring it back up. Please, in the meantime, hit the like button. And if you have not yet, please subscribe to the channel. Very interesting information. How many of these youngsters give up on the opportunity they have to play professionally? And a lot of it has to do with the fact that they can't deal with the professional environment that the sport is being played and managed in. And the truth is, maybe we need to start treating them or exposing them to professionalism, like he said, from the age of 15. Because when a man reaches 19 and 20 in Jamaica, a lot of these youngsters already have 3, 4, 5 women, probably have a little child on the way. They're not thinking about being in a professional setup. They're thinking that they have other responsibilities. So maybe we really need to tap into the talent from 50 and put them in like I said, an environment where they can matriculate into professionalism from early. I see this comment here, which is Balago Trinidad getting US 2,000 per week. And I figure that this is probably a few years ago, because this is not recent. And left, go back Jamaica, say him homesick. Madness, $2,000 a week. $2,000 a week. And you go back home saying you're homesick. Homesick? Right? All right, Mr. Sterling said, when you have schools quitting competition because they got blown out in a few matches, what we, I think that is incomplete. But there are more reasons behind the school exiting the competition. I think we did a video yesterday kind of explaining some of the issues with the whole vaccination that led also to the school withdrawing from the competition. So there is more to that than just because they were losing as to why they left. All right. Okay. This one says people here speaking like players can get up and go to Europe without a contract. Talents are more than the clubs can pick. Yeah, they can pick up and go, but you should aspire. If you want to be a professional footballer, you have to aspire. You can't just let the league, the USL be a ceiling. That's all we're saying. You can't pick up yourself and go. But if you want to be a professional or play football, it's called pro football. You can't want to be unprofessional and be a pro footballer. All we're saying is that be professional about this thing and see how far it will take you, right? Mr. Brown is trying to get back on. There you go. All right. There you go.
Yeah,
All
I'm
right.
here.
You're here now. All right. So let's get back because we have a couple of comments here. I see. Let me just go back over them. This one is saying that a player goes to Trinidad, right? Earning 2,000 US per week. And he leaves and he comes back to Jamaica saying that he's homesick, right? This is the kind of thing that you're speaking about.
Certainly, and this is because they're not trained, like my wife would say, professionally from day one. They know what the requirements are. Leon Bailey and Raheem Sterling, I must stress them until I die. They got out early. Whatever the situation is, they got out early, and they learned the ways and means of becoming a real professional and what is required. They're not perfect. They're human beings and they're gonna make mistakes like anybody else. But they put in the kind of work that is required of them to get to the standard that they are. What's happening with our youngsters, and this is from me a play over Woodham, when we name Woodham. You're a baller, man. You're a baller. No make them tell you nothing. And that kind of thing, you say to yourself, yes, me a big baller. Me not have to do nothing more. It done. You're getting a contract to go overseas. What is needed is for us to educate these young men before they leave. Listen, when you go to Trinidad, it's going to be different. The culture is different. You're going to have to adapt. For instance, we send a player to a cold country. I send him in the winter. He will never, ever produce. You send him go hungry in the cold. How is he going to adjust to that? Now you send him in the summer, and he gradually gets his time, and gradually, as the weather changes, he adapts.
Yes.
Now, we are going to send a kid to Europe. Well, get him a job at Kingston Ice Jam. Get him in a Cremo, where he get used to the cold. So when he get to wherever he or she goes, they make the adjustment. They just send Kanye to Sweden. It's a whole different ball game. The weather is different from when she's at Orlando Pride. But she has to make the adjustment. This is what you want. You have to make the adjustment. And that's the bottom line. We have to help them. And if they take the help that we are giving them, then it's going to be good. And like I said to you before, some people want it. Some people just don't.
Yeah. Yep. I think I love this one. Claudia is saying that. Listen, she's saying that from the age of 12, instead of waiting until they are 15, at 12 years old is when we need to start get these players to be professional. And I agree with you. Everybody, listen, you go to a football game now, and one of these youngsters score 2 goals. You're a big ball of that, and all of a sudden you can't coach them anymore. You can't talk to them anymore, and all of that, right? And they're big baller where? Against who? Probably against a 13-year-old, and they're 16, and people are rating them up.
There's a young man that I was in Marvally by Ronaldo Berger's father's house, and I looked at the younger brother, 12 years old, dominated the Premier League, and I said to the dad, you need to get this kid out of here now. He's in Connecticut right now with the grandma and his mom. Why? Him going to stay at Marvally and body him say I'm a big baller. And they go and get to him head. The kid is super. He's 12 years old, just passed for Kingston College. If you can get him out of the situation that he's in right now, then you're going to see the benefit of him later. But if you make him stay a Marvel here, man, tell him say, I'm a big baller. I'm a big baller. Don't get to him head.
Well,
so what we need to do is,
yes.
we need to open up an avenue, whichever way we can. The Freddie Butlers, the Leon Bailey, the Raheem Sterling, the Valney Brown, the Stennett, whoever. Open up an avenue where we can get these youngsters with good chaperones, if we have good chaperones, to place them in places, make sure that they get the right treatment, make sure that they're comfortable, make sure we can get the best out of them while they go to school, and they know that they get treated properly. When I took Kanya, that was my responsibility, to make sure that she's well taken care of. Not to leave her to get up for a man and friend to go to school. When she get to get
Yeah.
something to eat, she don't know what she going to eat. No. You took on this responsibility to help her to achieve.
Okay, I see what you mean. So you need to put these talented players in a place where they don't have to worry about what they're going to eat. They don't have to worry about those things.
Listen to me, Stennett. If they send all the talented youngsters to me in Florida, I'll take care of them. Send them to me, I'll take care of them. All they have to do is make sure that what they have to do to contribute to the youngsters' success is done.
But they can't stay there for longer than
no.
Burma's visa they have,
Let me give it to you, Stennett, because a lot of people don't know how this is done. And I'm going to open up something that all of you are going to be shocked.
Yes.
When Ncaa Plummer came here, what I did with her, I made sure she spent 4 to 5 months, never stayed over, go back to your yard. I catch her in the holiday times when America have holidays, send her back home, bring her back. Now she have another 5 months, 4 months to stay. Back and forth. Just like that until she got what she was supposed to get. Now she was stopped while coming from Haiti, representing Jamaica, and was held in immigration holding. And I received a call. And when I received the call, they said, we have one Ncaa Plummer in immigration holding. I said, what? I said, yes, she's coming from Haiti. After a game for Jamaica, I said, no. I said, yes. I said, let me tell you this. Anybody takes Ncaa Plummer out of the United States without my permission, I can have them arrested for child kidnapping. That's how that young lady came back to Jamaica. And I called the people that were in charge at the time, and I said, how is Ncaa in immigration holding? And you guys leave her.
Whoa.
A lot of you guys don't even know that. I was the reason why she was able to come back in the country. Because when I told them, anybody takes her out of the country without my permission, because I have her paperwork, I can have them arrested for child kidnapping.
So she got called for the Jamaica team and went to play a match without you. Listen, we're not going to go.
No, them do it, them do the things, them do the things, and that could have jeopardized her, to be honest with you.
So you're saying that if there's a talented youngster, there's an academy there that they can be a part of to learn professionalism on a 3-month, 4-month basis and come back to Jamaica. But you're saying
you don't spoil them. You never spoil them up. I wouldn't make anybody spoil up my kid. And I've done it for several Jamaican kids. I just did it for Javon Redman from Dintil. He was here 5 months with me. I said, go home. Don't mess up your visa.
Okay, so he was there. He learned some stuff in the professional setting, and he's back in Jamaica.
He was even selected to go to Chile. When I put him in the trials, he was selected to go to Chile. It's only that they had the COVID in Chile while he's not there in Chile.
Okay,
he was selected to go to Chile.
Okay, so he could be moving to Chile.
And you have another Lewis Watson. Lewis Watson is currently in England. I just got a young man.
Lewis Watson is from Jamaica?
Yeah, man. He's he's Tampy from KC, son. He's in England right now doing his thing.
He's coming back. He's coming back to Jamaica to play Manning Cup.
Well, you know how that go. You can't stay your time. There's a young man that...
he's coming. No, man, I'm trying to find out because I heard that KC have a baller coming back to play Manning Cup if they go through.
Could be Berger, could be Watson. Could be both of them.
It could be both of them. Okay. What's his name?
Yeah. Lewis Watson.
Lewis Watson. Boy, a man was trying to keep it secret, but it wasn't the secret.
Nah, man, it has no secret. No, I have a young man that just got signed at Sutton FC. He went to Cornwall College.
Okay.
A young man that I helped to go to school, Bram King son, Jason King, called me up and he says, Coach Brown, the only person that can put this kid in his hand is you. I said, what's going on, Jason? He says, well, you know, I want him. He's talented and he does his schoolwork, blah, blah, blah. Brought him here, played him in the NSL. I didn't play him in the kids league. I played him in the NSL. Inter Miami liked him. They got him there. They said, oh, he needs a little bit on the edge, blah, blah, blah. But I have a contact in England and I sent him straight to England. Luckily, and for goodness, he is a British born, but it's his first time in England. And when he played in England, they gave him an A. The agent called me and he says, once they give you an A grade, you're pretty much a professional player.
Okay.
Now, this is a talented youngster, Kamali Powell. This is a talented young man from Cornwall College. Super talented. He will be 18 in May.
How I don't
He's
hear these
17
guys
plus right
getting
now.
called? How come I don't hear these guys getting called up for like Jamaica U team? Some of these names is first I'm hearing
Well,
them.
well, he just like I said, when I brought him here, another one, they were like, I'm super talented, blah 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 blah. But hey, listen, it's different here. It is completely different here. So now you have to adapt and change some stuff that's gonna make you better. At one point he was mad, but I said, hey, Jason said I must do anything to get you better, and I'm gonna do what I have to do to get you better.
So I all right. So a couple of things. One, Desi Nicholson is saying I have two sons. I would love to see you go further. Christopher and Joel
Joel Nicholson.
Nicholson.
I
Yeah, I
know
know.
both boys.
Yeah,
I know both boys.
yeah.
As a matter of fact, if Desi wants Joel to go, I have a contract to go to Spain. 7 players for January. So he can call me up. He has my number. I can tell Joel. Joel is pretty decent, nice, like a young man. I admire him a
Okay.
lot.
So
He
you
was
say
in
you have
my
a
program,
contact
but
to
he
get
stepped over
you
to
got
another
you.
team.
Oh, he left your team. Team wasn't.
Yeah, man. Yeah, he's in a different program, but that doesn't stop him from getting an opportunity from me if it's there. That's not my
Okay.
style.
Because there are other persons in here who have they are Jamaican with kids in the States doing well. There's a youngster called, I think his name is Sanchez, doing very, very well. Just won some high school football tournament. Almost 6 feet center back, I think he
Where is
is.
he? Where is he?
I can't. Yeah, but
I hope he's in the Fort Lauderdale area.
no, he's not in. I think he's coming. He's probably going to be in Fort Lauderdale for a
Uh, so,
tournament.
so
Um,
just get the information to me. I go take a look at him because if he's behind a 20-foot wall, I can tell he's good or not.
yeah, man. I hope somebody, if Sanchez is here, he can tell us a little bit to see, just to look at him because I hear that he's a very good. Because there are others, and sometimes people don't know, like, how do we get a person from here to this place. But I'm glad to know that you have worked with persons like Kanye Plummer. You have helped them, the Andre Blakes. You have worked with Mullines, opened the door so many persons. Like you said, Trench from Mannings is one of the other persons that you have helped as well.
And
Sergio Campbell.
Stone, you name them, they're there. They're
Yeah,
there. All the man,
yeah.
any youngster that comes from down that side that goes to Sakachi University in South Carolina. I was the one that brought our Aaron Lawrence to that coach and said, place the kids them here. The academics is not that solid. Place them here and then you can move them on.
Okay, so that's like where they move on from. All right.
Right.
So what? All right. So what? So the club that you have. I mean, yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, like I say, it's in the NSL.
NSL and the Gold Coast League.
Okay, and those are amateur leagues.
Amateur league, yeah.
Okay, okay, okay. Yeah, man. But I mean, anything
As a
else?
matter of fact,
Go ahead.
to tell you, Stan, we have a young lady from Jamaica right now. Her name is Tony Cowan. I don't know if you know her. She coaches under 15 females. So what I've done, I have kind of put in the bag and pack it in a bit and allow her to coach the men's team because she has to do
Oh,
a B license course. So I allowed her.
The CONCACAF B license.
I don't know which one she's doing. Could be, but
Okay.
she needs that kind of program for her to do her testing. And she's what, 3 wins, 3 loss. She's doing good. She's doing pretty good. Our 4 wins, 3 loss.
And she's coaching men.
Yeah, she's coaching my men's team, NSL. Yeah, I don't coach anymore.
Okay.
I'm on the ownership side, so just have
So,
to
like
find.
with a team like that, people have to pay to play on your team because they don't get paid.
No, we don't pay. We don't. I do it differently. What I do is the league itself, and I have an understanding of the kind of people that I'm bringing to the league. So they give us a path to take. It's not something that I tell everybody because everybody's going to want to jump on it. But there's a path that I take, and I have a Haitian guy, Dr. Henry Sanan, who pays the league so I have my team participate. And his son, I just got him to play in Spain. He's contracted because he played the first game last Sunday in Spain. He was 24 years old. Everybody said he would not go any further. And I sent him over to Spain, and he's now signed in Spain.
Yeah.
I'm to
I
be a
got the
Houston kid.
Yeah, I got the player, right? His name is Dante Sanchez. He plays at Saint Benedict Prep in New Jersey.
Oh, he's
One of
in
the top.
Jersey.
Yeah, he's one of the top Jamaican prospects. Like I said, almost 6 feet or probably more than 6 feet tall.
St. Benedict in
Big,
New Jersey, Jersey.
big player. But I know he has a tournament in Florida because he did so well. Several schools are after him. So yeah.
If he can get his information to me, so whenever he plays, I'll knock on and watch him. I'm currently working with some Hungarians, 7 a.m. every morning. And if he's that good, they will tell me. And if he's not good, they will tell me. But they are former professional players from Hungary. And I work with them in an area called Parkland in the morning, 7 a.m. with some talented players who currently even at Inter Miami. Is in our session in the morning.
But I think, like I say, he's just completing high school, so I know probably this is like, I don't
No,
know
this
if he
is
wants
the right time for him to be seen. And if he's playing in a tournament in Florida, you won't know us. We just go look at him.
Okay, all right. So I'll let them contact you. Can tell you when the tournament date is. Yeah. All right, and see, yes, somebody saying that Tony Cowan is a good coach. She was around Cavaliers for years.
Yeah, man. She's here with me currently right now. She just moved back to Florida. She's doing a fantastic job.
Listen, I know you and your wife, you watch the Miami Dolphin games and they won that game. So you're out all day and this is dark and you up and down moving to get the best view and all of that, and you're at the beach and she probably want to sleep and all of that, and you're tired and all of that. So I don't know. I'm giving you the last word. What is it that you want to share? What advice you want to give as it relates to just football, this Jamaica's football and your role and in terms of your role in helping youngsters over the years and going forward?
My word would be to the private sector of Jamaica, because they are the key to our success. And if the
private sector,
yes, if they can set up a program for the youths in Jamaica and sustain it, like for instance, Mr. Williams, I saw they give $10 million to every club for Premier League. I don't know how true that is, but if they can use that kind of money, you don't need $10 million to run a youth program.
Yeah.
And if you give 10 clubs or 12 clubs $10 million, as I read in the paper, then it's $120 million. But if you use $10 million, that will go a long way for the youths in Jamaica. I personally think that we are doing it backwards. We must develop the youths. We must pay attention to the youths. And that is why America is great. The youths are our priority, and we must put them as such. Spend quality time and develop the youngsters. So in the future, we can look at them and say, wow, we've done a tremendous job.
Yeah. So that's your advice. Well, listen, man, I'm going to work with that contact, and I want to thank you for the work that you have done. Sometimes you remind me of a next friend of mine called Devon Porter, who is out there in Canada, and these are like persons who are just Jamaicans giving up their time and their resources to make a difference. Yeah, man.
Chongfa said to me once, I played him in a game in Miami and I beat him 1-0. He says, you're going to be great in many different ways. And I never knew what it was.
Yeah.
I was from the legendary Winston Chongfa.
Yeah.
It's not always taking, it's giving back.
Okay. I hear that Dante is going to be in a tournament in Orlando from December 2nd to 6th, which is like next week.
All right, so what I'll do, I'll ask Boris Johnson to take a look at him. Send his jersey number and his club, and I'll have Boris Johnson look at him for me. Boris is on that side, Gaddafi.
Right. No, Gaddafi is in Atlanta.
Gaddafi is in Atlanta, but Boris Johnson is in Orlando.
Yeah,
I think he's doing IMG.
Yeah, I think so. I think Boris is in Orlando.
Yeah, Boris will tell me yes or no easily.
Yeah. Yeah, but I want to thank you and your wife, man, even for what you're doing with like I said, people don't know these things. People don't know. You never hear these stories. You just don't know.
It's
And
the
there are men.
unsung hero, Senate. Senate is the unsung hero. Khadijah Shah, Trudy Carter, all those girls when they got their chance to come here. Was done by me.
Whoa. Oh.
When Khadijah Shah was here, she was staying with one of my greatest friends, the Leafats.
Yeah?
Yes, they took care of her right throughout.
Okay.
This is no if, ands, nor but. I'm telling you facts.
Yep. Yep. Man, but you continue to do the work, right? Like, listen, I mean, I don't know. Some of these things sometimes that's just how life is. There's a Jamaican who does songs that we do it for the love, we don't do it for the
Maybe for the
likes.
like. Yeah, but
There
you
you
see,
go.
the greatest blessing
Yeah.
is when you give back.
There you go. There you
Continue
go.
giving back. All right. It was a pleasure talking to you.
Yeah, man, I appreciate. Please tell your lovely Wi-Fi and listen. We need to work out and make sure your daughter. There you go. Thank you so.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
And please.
if they want her, she's available.
Yeah, but it can't be so hard to get paperwork.
Well, I was there a couple months ago, and I went up to the on Cotton Spring Road, and they told me the same
Yes.
thing, that she has to be living in Jamaica too. And she was adopted. Vin Blaine was the one that told me to adopt her at 17,
So
and she's now
obviously,
25.
and they're saying, and she played for Jamaica, the U17.
Yeah, man, she came down with it. She was there at the
Oh,
Reggae
but she
Girls House.
never
It's the
played in
best.
a game though. She never played in a game though.
No, she was training. She was in the camp. Yeah, she was at
She
the
was
camp
in
with
the
them.
camp.
Yeah.
Okay. So you have to live in Jamaica to get a Jamaican passport.
I think they said because of to get the Jamaican citizenship, because she wasn't born in
No,
Jamaica.
but the players coming out of England, they don't live in Jamaica, but they get citizenship. And maybe I don't know. Maybe because it is not adoption. I don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe
maybe
that is it.
that. Yeah, because of a biological child. The biological child would have been ABC.
Okay.
So
They
they
all
say she
right.
had to live on the island, but it's not going to happen.
Live for how long?
They say she had to be in Jamaica for what, 5 years?
5 years.
Mm-hmm.
There must be some other way, man. That it can't be that difficult. If this was America, it would have been done. There must be some other way. That can't be the
Exactly.
one. That can't be the only way. All
And
right.
Jean Nelson, before she, God bless her soul, she was the one that told me to come down and do it a
Okay.
couple months ago before she passed.
All right. So, Mr. Brown and Mrs. Brown, thank you again. Listen,
Thank you so much.
you are welcome. Mr. Nicholson will get in touch with you, and I'll have the Sanchez people reach out to you. But again, thank you so much for the work that you have been doing to help so many Jamaican youngsters. I mean, it is humanitarian. You understand me? For you to taking them into your homes and just give from your resources.
Yeah.
You know, and the truth is, even if somebody were to give you,
that is so true.
yeah, you know, and to give them the opportunities. The truth is, if it were just one person, it's still there's a commendation.
Stenet, she
Yes.
is the reason why Jose gives me the opportunity to get 7 kids into Spain. Because she speaks like 5 different languages.
3.
Okay.
3 languages.
I speak 5 different. I speak 5 different languages too, you know.
But we need you when Jose come to Jamaica to interpret.
Yeah, well, I speak English. I speak Westmolite. I speak Kingstoniite. I speak. I'm just kidding. But somebody saying that Boris Johnson was the one who helped Dante's brother to get a scholarship. So Boris Johnson knows the family.
All right, so I talked to Boris.
Yeah. And then
before we go, what's going on with Javan Topi?
Jamai Topi?
Mm-hmm.
He's back in Jamaica playing at Cavaliers.
That kid was loved in Sweden 100%. I don't know why is he in Jamaica.
Yeah, I'm hoping that he, like, I don't understand why these guys end up back in Jamaica. I see Alex Marshall is back in Jamaica as well. I don't know. Like I said, the issue is, and we don't want to go on again because we have cover this is that these guys are playing high school football up to age 19. They're in an unprofessional environment, so it's hard for them to make the adjustment. So they rather come back to the comfort that they know, and that needs to be fixed.
And that needs to be fixed at U12.
At U12, like Claudine said earlier. But
U12.
thank you again and enjoy the rest of your evening. And we will be in touch. We'll definitely be in touch. I will make sure that Mr. Nicholson reach out to you as well about the trip to Spain. So,
Yeah.
so bless you. Yeah, bless you.
God
Yeah, man.
get you, and God bless.
Yeah, man. All right. Every time.
Good.
All right. There you go, people. You know, good talk with Mr. Valney Brown and his wife, right? Hope that you would have heard some information that add value to your life, information that you can probably share with someone else to help them. The truth is, the persons who have interacted with him said that, listen, if you need help with your child in terms of being in the States in that area, he's the person to reach out to. They always find a way of helping, and we wanted to open the platform to that today to help people understand. For those of you who are probably in high school and you're thinking about getting scholarship to universities, remember what he said. Make sure you have at least one science subject and do your checks. He also said the scholarships are renewed on a yearly basis, basically. So don't assume that because you get a scholarship, it's going to last for all 4 years or 3 years of your study. So you need to know those things so you can prepare, right? The USL is not the league. He's saying that a lot of these players, they get complacent. You hear those things. I want to take those points and add them to your growth and your development. Again, I want to thank all of you. Tomorrow, we have a big interview coming up. We'll be having Bingy Blair tomorrow. He will be on the program in the morning. And then we have a packed schoolboy football show to do in the evening. So we have Bingy Blair tomorrow morning at our 11 o'clock slot. If you don't know who he is, you're going to find out, right? In fact, he's celebrating his birthday today. So happy birthday, Bingy Blair. So we'll be talking to him in the morning to share his journey with us in football. We have a crammed week next week, so you'll be doing some double shows, meaning we'll be doing interviews in the morning and in the evening. And this is based on availability of persons and where they are from. Persons in England and other places in the world coming on the platform. So we have to do it to make sure that we afford them the flexibility in terms of time. Listen, I appreciate every single one of you for being here with me for the 2 hours that we have been here. Thank you so much for all of you who have subscribed to the channel. For you, all of you who keep sharing the word, you keep saying to someone, listen to this platform. This guy's doing a good job. I appreciate it a whole lot. All right. Continue to help the platform to grow by supporting the platform. When you put out the videos, you like the videos, right? You subscribe and encourage others to subscribe, and you share the content, right? The best commercial is word of mouth. I'm telling you, if you tell someone else, it makes a difference. Enjoy the rest of the evening. I know the coach's desk is on with Coach Minzy. He has a good program going on. You have other guys out there. You have Ryan, LFC, Talawa TV, Sports Down the Middle. You have the guys at Sports Frenzy. You have the Formula. You have my friend Unseen Sport. Oh geez. Am I leaving out any? Dre Any Weather is not doing good today because his Chelsea team tied against Manchester United. If I've left out any, that's how it is. I don't remember all the names at times. But God bless you. Have a wonderful rest of the evening to all the moderators who are in here to help me with managing the comments and what happens there. I want to say a big thank you to you as well. I'm going to leave you with a word from our sponsors, Tricknick. They are the sponsors of this video. They are a Jamaican-owned and operated company in Canada, and they are offering, listen to this, wow, they are offering 25% discount on all their products. All you have to do is shop at www.tricknick.ca and use the code I am sure sports 001 to get 25% discount. You need to capitalize on this before Christmas, because next, after the 24th, this deal is gone, 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 gone. In fact, I'm going to play a couple of their commercials so you can know a little bit about their products.
Jerk marinade gives your meats and vegetables authentic Jamaican jerk flavor. The spices are directly from Jamaica. Spices like jerk seasoning, allspice, Scotch bonnet pepper, fresh scallions, thyme, ginger, and garlic. The key ingredients to a great jerk marinade. 0% sugar and low in sodium. You want to try it?
18 Jamaican herbs and spices add delicious, bold flavor to your next grilling experience. Flavoring sauce, a marinade, basting, condiment, or topping. Trick Nick Jerk Barbecue Sauce.
I had to come up, people, on this. Big up Miss Camille. Miss Camille in the building, watching out the thing. For all of you who missed the NFL game like Sefton, big up yourself. Big up yourself. Claudia, big up yourself. Fresh God, Peso, big up yourself. You understand me? Jasper, Robert, yeah, man. Duckland, yo, what for names, man? You understand me? Richard, yeah, man. Rowan, yeah, CC, Ricardo, yeah. Big up people, big up yourself. Desi, good to see you, sir. In the thing, you understand me? Yeah, man. Coach Karumi, bless up. Good to see you, sir. Always a punching the thing, you understand me? Appreciate you being around. I know we had some other person. RJPUBG. Hey, you have got to change up the thing there. You understand me? Big up yourself as well, and bless up and stay safe. You understand me? A lot of people that would have throw a lot about Paul Marriott. Bless up. You understand me? Upbeat boss. Big up yourself, man. All Topic TV. Yes, lot of respect goes out to you all. All right, there we go, people. Did I miss out any name? If I miss out any name, next time will be the best time. All right, we're over and out. Thank you again.